Alright, what's up guys? So my previous stream kind of got interrupted a little bit, but kind of want to try to see if I can get straight to the point in this one. Again, this is part 2 of why a co-angler should empathize with a boater's expenses. Just saying that out of my mouth sounds like the dumbest thing I've ever heard of in the world. Yeah, just the dumbest thing the dumbest sentence I've ever heard since I've been in the existence of a human in this world. So I kind of wanted to just elaborate on that just a little bit. As like I mentioned, I'm gonna do a full video on this. Like I said, I'm gonna have some co-anglers, I'm gonna have some pros, some boaters, the pros, boaters, whatever the case may be. I'm gonna have them all co's. They're all co's. Like some co's are pros, some pros are co's, some boaters are pros, some boaters are just boaters. Does that make sense? Like, what's up, Moser boy? Yes, so like the words are very, like, I've lost as a co-angler to boaters who fish as co-anglers. Like, there's a boater who will win an event and then he'll hop in as a co-angler in the next tournament, and then he'll go back to a boater in the next tournament, and then he'll go back to a co-angler in the next tournament. Like, so the words, like when they say boater, boater means boater. Boater doesn't mean pro. Boater means boater. Okay, some boaters are co's, some boaters are pros. Some boaters do it for a living. Some boaters do it just because they had a free weekend and they had extra money. The terms, like for what Randy Blocker was trying to express in this video, like it irritated me a lot. He made some really good points, but then he made some points that was just like, dude, what the heck are you talking about? So he expressed in the video that a co-angler who enters in a tournament, and just to make sure I'm clear for everybody to understand what a co-angler is, that's a person who's fishing out of the back of the boat. They have a very specific thing that they can do. They get in the back of a boat, you're a co-angler. There's a boater who runs the boat all day. He makes all the decisions. He goes everywhere he wants to go. You have no say in where that boat goes at all throughout the course of the day. You basically are to sit there and fish off the back of the boat and try to beat other co-anglers or who are in the same position that you are. You're in the back of the boat. You cannot fish at the front of the boat. You cannot use the trolling motor. You can't use the big motor. You can't do any of that. You have to take your poles, your baits, your own poles, and you fish out of the back of the boat. That's what you do. So when you say you just have to beat other co-anglers, you're not even competing against a boater in your own boat. You're competing against other co-anglers who are in the back of other people's boats. So that's what a co-angler is. It's a bass fisherman, a bass angler who chooses to fish a tournament from the back of the boat. Okay? But you have to pay money to get into the tournament, okay? So you have to pay. You don't just hop on someone's boat and just go fishing. You have to pay money to enter the tournament. You get in the tournament. So Randy Blocker was saying, as a co, I should empathize with the boater's expenses. So, for example, we're going to throw out expenses. As a co-angler, hey baby, it's okay. As a co-angler, you pay $550 to get into a tournament. So the most recent tournament I fished, I had to pay $550 to get into it. A boater pays $1,700. Okay? So is there a difference in money? Yes. Now, does the boater care that you paid $550? Don't care at all. They don't care at all. It doesn't matter to them. That's not why they signed up. They didn't sign up because you signed up. They signed up because they have a boat and they want to fish and they want to win money. They're not there to learn. They're not there to relish in the experience of talking to other anglers. They're there to win. They're there to win money. They're a boater. They paid $1,700 to get in. They ain't there to sing Kumbaya with you, okay? They don't want to be your best friend at the end of the day. They want to catch fish and they want to pay their bills. That's what they're there for. They want to pay. They want to make money. Hopefully they're not there to pay their bills. Hopefully they can pay their bills on their own because they have a business. But they're there to make money. Okay, that's like what everyone in America wants to do. They want to make money. You pay a little bit of money to win money. All of us, we play our fantasy football league because we like football. But you hop in it and you pay that $25 or that $100 because you want to win some money as well. But you want to have fun while you're winning money, right? Again, remember what I said, $100. $100, we're having fun. We're going to enjoy ourselves at $100. Like, come on. You guys know I'll spend $100 on hooks in a day. Like, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? $100. When you start spending $1,700, that's a whole nother story. You're talking mortgage payments, man. Mortgage payments. If I'm paying $550, you're talking car payments plus light bills, right? Like, that's that kind of money. Okay? Like, so Randy Blocker's comment was, as a co-angler, I should empathize with the amount of money that the boater spent. I should empathize with him. So I should not cast in certain places. I should not go there trying to win, because I should empathize that the boater does this for a living. And I should feel for him because he does this for a living. and I should understand that, and I should let him basically just ruin my day if he wants to, because this is what he does for a living, and I need to just get out of his way. Okay, I don't agree with that. Like, I don't agree with that at all. I think that's like what's wrong with bass fishing in the world, like in general. That's why I'm gonna have an open discussion with some people about it. That's how he made it. That's how he implied. He said that as a co-angler, I should hop on the boat, and his words are, I should tell the boater that I'm there to learn, I'm there to absorb knowledge and pick his brain, and I'm just thankful for an opportunity to be in the boat. Now, I want to point out that it's a random draw tournament. So if I pay $550, I get a random boater. Again, remember the word boater, pro are interchangeable, because a boater, there's a lot of boaters that are not professional fishermen. They're just boaters, okay? They're not pros, okay? They just had money, they had means, and they hopped in the tournament. They're not pros, okay? Not every boater is a pro. They're not all pros. I just want to put that out there. Some of these dudes could not, some of these dudes, I could outfish them in year one. They're not that good. A lot of them are really good. Some of them are not that, okay? So for him to say that, he said, you should pay $550, and he said you'll get the money back on the back end by learning all the knowledge from the person. It's a random draw. I don't know who's there. So I'm paying $550 to possibly get not a pro, but get a Joe who doesn't know anything, and I'm supposed to tell the guy who doesn't know anything, who practiced for 2 days and who's not on any pattern, that I'm just here to learn from you, sir. Thank you for the opportunity to get in your wonderful fancy bass boat and show me all the great ways of the river. Please, pretty sir, show me the ways of the river. Why? What? Who pays $550 to hope and wish that somebody's gonna show me something on a river that I fish more than they fish? I fish on the river every week, if not every other week, for 52 weeks out of a year. They show up for 2 days before the tournament, and I'm supposed to learn from them? I just don't fish as a boater because my boat is not big enough to enter these events. If my boat was big enough, I would enter the events as a pro. I do not choose to do that. I choose to be a co-angler. Plus, it's a lot cheaper. Okay, $1,700 that's a decision. Okay, just facts. That's a decision. Again, that's why I said the pro, he does not care what you do in the back of his boat. He does not care if you catch fish. That's not why he's there. He pays $1,700. But I'm also not. My $550 ain't chump change. Okay, I took off time from work. I had to rent a room and stay because it's a 2-day tournament. I had to take time away from my family. You see my family right here. I got to take time away from my family. So to tell me my $550 is junk compared to your $1,700, oh, you had to spend $3 to fish one tournament, but you knew you had to spend $3,000 to fish one tournament. 1, 2. Apparently, since you fish for a living, you got $3,000 to fish tournaments. That's why you got this job. 3, you get to fish for a living. You get to fish for a living. I'm supposed to empathize with you for fishing for a living, something I want to do. I'm supposed to feel for you and not fish, not try my best to win the tournament. I want to get to where you're at. I want to take over your spot in the front of the boat. I'm not going to sit back here and just put my poles down on the side and just hope you show me some stuff. Please, sir, show me how to tie a knot. At that level, okay, guys, when you spend $550 to fish a tournament, if you spend that amount of money in a tournament and you're at that level, you don't think you suck at fishing. I'm going to just put that out there. If I spend $550 in a tournament, I'm not out there throwing bobbers, man. Okay? I don't have bobbers. I don't have a Disney pole, okay? If you spend $550 in a tournament, you've invested in yourself and you've invested in the equipment to get out there and make something happen. Now, mind you, there is a guy that takes that Barbie pole and whoop your butt because he's just good at fishing. But again, that guy that's that good at fishing is not going to be hoping that Randy Blockett shows him the ways of the water. He said if the co-angler gets in his boat and says, here, dear sir, I am just here to learn. Please let me pick your brain throughout the day and help me in any way that you can. He said if a co-angler comes in his boat with that attitude, that he will show him everything he can about the river that day. Now, I want to check him on that comment, because you're telling me that somebody that spent $1,800 in a tournament is going to spend all day showing a guy in the back who doesn't know how to fish, how to catch fish in the tournament? when he has to come back in with fish, he's going to show you how to catch fish, take time and teach you in the middle of the day when he's in a tournament. I'm calling BS. I think he's full of it. I think he's lying his tail off, because I don't know, not near a single pro in the world is going to take 8 hours and show you how to catch fish in the middle of a tournament. Because you know what happens? If he comes back in with a 0, he's going to feel horrible. His sponsors ain't going to be too happy with him. And he's going to have to explain how he didn't catch any fish. And his excuse is going to be, well, my co-angler was a humble person and wanted me to show him how to fish. Huh? This ain't that time. That's minor league stuff. Okay, that's minor league stuff, buddy. That's like club level stuff. There's a lot of guys in clubs. Hey, you okay? You okay? No. There's a lot of guys, there's a lot of clubs out here, bass fishing clubs, where there's some great guys who will take time and show you how to catch fish. And they will show you, they will take you. I had one. This guy's name is Mike. He runs a club out here in Fredericksburg, Virginia, Battlefield Bass. I didn't have a boat. There were not enough boats that signed up for me to be a co-angler. So he took me out in his boat, 2 of us, 2 co-anglers, took us both out in a brand fancy Ranger and took time and showed us spots on the lake. Told me exactly what to throw. Told me too that I had too much tackle and that he knows people that could come out there with a worm and beat me to death with all that tackle boxes I had. He was honest with me, and I appreciated that. That changed the way I fish and the way I approach things. Knowing that you don't need a lot to do what you need to do, especially once you get familiar and locked in on some of these places. You do not need a bunch of baits. Like, I'll give you 3 baits for the Potomac, 3 baits for Lake Anna, and some of them are the same bait. Like, you don't need a lot of stuff once you get into this fishing deal. But there was a very nice club level guy. I paid $60. I got to go out in the boat, learn everything I could, everything I possibly could. The lady who was fishing with us too smacked like 2 or 3 4-pounders on a spinnerbait right in front of my face. I didn't get bit all day. Yet she came back in with like 9-10 pounds. I came back with nothing. I got my hind parts handed to me. It was my first tournament, I think, ever in life in a club level event. Like, trying to be a club level. At that level, you're able to learn. You can go out there and just study and listen to these people and talk to these people and pick their brain. And they will talk to you. We have meetings every Wednesday. The first Wednesday of every month. And you can go to the club meetings and they will talk to you about fishing. Really great group of guys. They'll help you out if you're out in trouble in the water. I got in trouble in the water one time. It was my club guys that helped me out. They were right there telling me tips and tricks. Ty, don't go here. Don't do this. Don't do that. But that was at the club level, guys. I had just started fishing. I was in my first year in. When you're a year I'm in and you're investing this kind of money I'm in, I'm not on the water to learn from Randy Blockett. Now, here's the side part, though. I am going to still learn from Randy Blockett while still trying to win the tournament, okay? I'm not there just to pick his brain. I need 5 fish, okay? I paid money. I have the same wife that he's got to go back home to and try to explain. So you telling me you spent $550 on a fishing tournament and you ain't catch no fish because you were talking to the pro all day and y'all were learning? You were learning. You spent $550 for learning. That's what you're telling me. Learn, and I thought you knew how to fish, honey. Exactly. You guys hear me talking. I sound like all y'all wives. I thought you knew how to fish. Oh, he said that you had to learn from him and you couldn't actually catch any fish. If you tried to catch fish, then you're in it for the wrong business. Wife ain't happy if you talking about you went out and oh, I'm so happy you learned, honey. Where's the mortgage payment? Okay, like, because I thought you could win $6,000 when you entered this tournament, and you're telling me you came back, caught no fish, and you learned a lot. I think you need to choose a different career, because this obviously ain't the one for you. If you still learning, you got a $20,000 boat in the yard, you bought a pickup truck to pull the $20,000 boat, you spend $1,000 on tackle a month, and you still going out there learning, and you paying that much money to learn. You couldn't learn at the club. You couldn't pay $60 to learn. You couldn't join the electric boat motor club and pay $25 to learn. You got to go learn at $550. I'm still going to learn because as bass fishermen, guys, we all know we're all still learning. Like, you never stop learning when it comes to fishing. You just don't pay that money to learn at that time in the event, okay? Like, during the event is not the time to learn. I tell my kids this all the time. If you're in a basketball game and you're learning to play in the basketball game, clearly you missed every practice, okay? Practice is when the time you learn the plays. Practice is when the time you learn what to do, what not to do, how to drive your boat, how not to drive your boat, where to go, where not to go. That's practice. Game day, we paid money, we in the tournament, we're here to win, man. We're here to win. I think Kobe Bryant's wife said it best. If you're going to be gone for the whole entire championship playoff and you're going to miss every single one of your daughter's games and events, you better come back here with a ring, okay? You better come back here with something for all your hard work, because otherwise you're just wasting your time and our time. Because if you're not going to win, I need you to be at the recital, okay? Like, it makes a difference if you win and you provide a better life for your family. It don't make sense if you're not winning and not making any money, unless that's not your goal. If your goal is just to be fun and have fish and just fish, I appreciate it, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm kind of ranting a little bit, but that topic really didn't sit well with me. Him, and he's out here crusading around the world talking about these ways. He wants to remove electronics from bass fishing. Not quite. If you ask him, that's not what he's trying to do, but that's what it sounds like. He doesn't want electronics. He's got a lot of stuff. I think, like I said in the first part, I think he learned that if he says things that aren't necessarily popular opinion, that people aren't going to like it, and he'll get more attention. And he's realized that he can make a bigger career for himself beyond fishing, because he is 58 or something like that. He's trying to find multiple ways to make money and improve the quality of his life, which I don't fault him for. I'm not mad at that. He got me riled up. Just some old dude that's not even on the elite trail got me riled up talking about this fishing. He's trying to work his way back up the ranks. Like, he got bumped with all the changes. He got bumped. He's a really good angler. He's sitting number 5 in the points. He's doing really well, but he's found a way. He's realized that YouTube and social media, if you get controversial on there, you get better. Like, you get better. Okay, that's just that. He's realized that, and he's like, if I keep doing this, then people are going to keep clicking, and I'm going to keep getting invited to interviews if I keep making these statements. And he actually believes these statements, I'm sure. But he's realized that if he jumps in the puddle, if he jumps in, people are jumping in with him, whether they agree or disagree. He's been on multiple shows. You never even heard of Randy Blockett unless you really follow fishing. Now he's been on like every stream and every channel. He's getting invited to Ike Live. He's getting invited to everything where he wasn't before. So he's realized something. I'm not mad at him for that. It's just, don't be out here spewing stuff. Because he has a whole video where he talks junk about 3 different co-anglers. If a co-angler made a video talking about how sorry 3 boaters were, he would be blackballed and ruined. No boater would ever take him out ever again in their life if a co-angler comes out and says a boater was bad. But a boater is okay to come out 10 to 15 years later and talk junk about an old co-angler? And it's just supposed to fly, and people just supposed to be like, oh, that's cool. He's talking junk about this guy. Because co-anglers can't do anything to him. Co-anglers can't do anything to Randy Blockett. Like, you don't have a chance to do anything to Randy. You can't. Like, it puts you in a really bad spot, man. So I just felt like just some principles of what he's talking about, that I should empathize with the amount of money he pays. Like, my money's no good. Like, that's the part that bothered me. Just to say that you paid more means you should be able to do more, and I should just be happy to be there. $550 ain't happy to be there money, man. That's like I said, that's Bill's money. That's like, that changes people's lives. $550 changes people's lives. $100, a little different. $100, you might find that in the change in the couch cushions. $550, that's a whole different story. So to say my money's junk, just, it didn't sit well. So that's all. That's why I felt like make the video. Hopefully you guys enjoy. I didn't bash anybody in this video. I just didn't agree with his opinion, and I'm entitled to my opinion, so I said it. So hopefully you guys enjoy. I'll be back a little bit more. As you guys see, I got a little grumpy guy here. Hi, grumpy daddy. And I got to make some food. So I'll catch you guys on the next one. Thanks again. Peace.